Hello and welcome to the Coding Bytes. I am Abhishek Parmar, and in this video we are going to solve Cognizant Automata questions of previous year. But before starting this video, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe and press the bell icon so that you never miss any update. So according to the previous year pattern, there were 7 questions which you have to solve in 20 minutes. So in this round, basically you will have to spot an error. Now the error may be a syntax error or a logical error. So you will have to find that error and debug the code. And after that you will have to recompile and submit. So on an average you will have 2.5 minutes to solve one question. So please be prepared for this round. So this is the first question. The question is fix the errors, recompile and match against the output provided. So the output is this is an error-free program. So output of the given program, which is this program, should be this is an error-free program. Now you will have to look at this program and you will have to find the error. Now as I said, the error may be a logical error or a syntax error. So if I open this program in a compiler, so in the online test also you will be given this question typed in a compiler. So all you have to do is, first of all, you can compile this program and see whether there is a syntax error or a logical error. So for this program we will first of all compile. So now if I hit the compile button, so as you can see there is a red spot on the 5th line. So similarly you will see a message on the console on the compiler which is given by the Cognizant. So as you can see there is a syntax error in this line. So if you see inside printf we have a message, this is an error-free program. So to display this is an error-free program, we will have to display these codes also. Now for displaying these codes we will have to use a slash. Now as you can see, if I use these slashes before the codes, so our entire message is displaying in blue line. That means our error has been resolved. Now if I again compile this program, so as you can see the red dot has been resolved. That means there is no error in this particular program. And now if I hit run, so as you can see this is an error-free program message has been displayed on the screen. So this was the error in this program and you will have to find it and then you can submit your code. So our next question is complete the code to display the factorial value of a given number as shown in the sample output. So if the input is 5, then the output will be factorial of 5 is 120, which means you are given this code which you can see here, and in this code you will have to write your logic to find the factorial of the given number. So there are some lines which are already given. For example, we are given 2 variables, integer variables, which are num and fact, and then we have a scanf to take the input from user, and then after this you will have to write your code to find the factorial, and then there is a printf which will display factorial of the given input is whatever the factorial may be. Now for this particular question you will have to write your own logic to find the factorial. So as you can see in this code we are given 2 variables num and fact. So I am taking num, and for example the value of num is 5, and with this I am also taking a variable fact and the initial value of fact is garbage. Now as you can see in this line we are using the num. So we will have to copy the value of num to a temporary variable. So for that purpose we are taking a temporary variable. Now if I take this temporary variable and copy the value of num to this temp, so what will happen? So we will use this temp to find the factorial and our value of num will be preserved. That means we can use in the printf statement for printing the value of num. So after taking this variable, the next thing is to initialize the value of factorial with 1. So till now I have written these 2 lines, fact equals to 1, and I have taken a temporary variable and assigned the value of num into temp. Now after this I am going to use a while loop, and inside the while loop I will have a condition temp not equals to 0, which means till our value of temp becomes 0, then this loop should iterate. Now inside this loop I have written fact equals to fact into temp, which means we are multiplying the value of temp with fact in each iteration, and after each iteration we are decrementing the value of temp by 1, so that after some iterations temp will become 0. Now in this case if you see 5, after 5 iteration temp will become 0. So this loop will get terminated and we will get our factorial in fact variable. So now let me open this code in a compiler. So as you can see I have written the same logic that we have just discussed now. Now if I compile this code, so as you can see there is no compilation error in this code. Now after this if I run this code, so now if I enter 5, so I am getting the message factorial of 5 is 120, That means our program is working correctly. So you can write this same logic in the compiler which will be provided to you, and you can submit your code. Now moving to the third question. So the question is, check whether the given program can find greatest of three numbers. For example, 2, 8 and 1, and you will have to find the greatest of these three numbers. So as you can see, the greatest of these three numbers is 8. So the output should 8. Now you are given this particular code, and you will have to find any syntax error or any logical error in this code. So what we will do is, first of all, we will start from the first line, which is a header file. So as you can see, there is nothing wrong in this header file. So we will move to the next line, which is int main. So this is also okay. Now after this, we have three variables, int n1, n2 and n3. So this is also right. Now after this, we are taking three inputs. So this line also doesn't have any compilation error or any logical error. So we will move to this line, which is if n1 greater than n2 and n1 greater than n3. So in this line, as you can see, we have two conditions, n1 greater than n2 and n1 greater than n3. And as you can see, these two parts are enclosed in brackets. But there should also be one more bracket which should enclose these two conditions. So after correcting this line, the statement will become this. And after this, we have printf, which is printing the value of n1. So there is no syntax error in this line also. So as you can see, after this, we have else if statement. Now in this else if statement, we have condition n2 greater than n3. Now there is nothing wrong in the condition, but as you can see, there is no space between else and if, which is also a syntax error itself. So here also we will have to give a space between else and if. So this condition will become else if n2 greater than n3. Now after this, the next statement is printf n2. So here also there is no syntax error, and in the last statement else, you can also see there is no syntax error in this part also. So now let's move to the compiler. So I will copy this code to the compiler. Now this is the same code that was given in the question. Now if I execute this code, so as you can see, there is a compilation error on this line. So for that, we are putting a closing and opening bracket. Now after this, if I again compile this code, so I am getting a compilation error on this line because there is no space between else and if. So for that, I am giving a space here. Now after this, if I again press the compile button, so now this time I am not getting any compilation error. So if I run this code and give three inputs, so as you can see, for the numbers 2, 8 and 1, I am getting 8, which is the greatest of these three numbers. So this program is working correctly. Now you can submit this code and you can move to the next question. So moving to the next question, the question is, the function pattern print is supposed to print n number of lines in the following pattern. For example, if n is equals to 4, the pattern should be like this. The function compiles successfully but fails to return the desired result due to logical errors. Your task is to debug the program to pass all the test cases. That means you are given a function void pattern print, and this function compiles successfully, which means there is no compilation error in this function pattern print, but there is a logical error which you will have to find and debug the program. So this is the function which was given in the question, and in this function, first of all, we have an argument which is n. That means a value which is going to be passed by the user or from the main of the function. Now as it is already mentioned in the program that there is no syntax error, but there may be a logical error in this code. So first of all, we have a variable print having value 1, and we have two variables I and j, and these variables are going to be used in these two for loops. So first of all, we have a for loop starting from I equals to 1 and I less than equals to n. That means this particular loop is going to iterate for the number of rows that are going to be printed in the pattern. And after this, we also have a nested for loop, and this loop will simply run for the number of columns which are going to be printed for a particular row. So here j is starting from 1, and this loop iterate till j is less than equals to I, and after each iteration j will be incremented by 1, and inside this for loop we are simply printing 1, which is the value of print, and after that we are using a escape sequence. So as you can see in this pattern, for value n equals to 4, there are n rows which are going to be printed, and as we have just seen that our outer loop is going to be start from 1 and it will iterate till less than equals to 4, which means we can give the number to each row. The first row is 1, the second row is 2, and the third row is 3, and fourth row is 4. So here if you observe the logic, the first row is going to have a 1 column, the second row will have 2 columns, the third row will have 3 columns, and the fourth row will have 4 columns. And after printing 1 in each row, we will have to move to the next row. And for moving to the next row, we will use escape sequence, which means \n. Now first of all, if I try to execute this code, so let's see what will be the output. So for the input 4, we are getting this output, and this is not the output that we want. So now what happens if I take this \n and put it here? So now if I again run this code now and giving the input 4, so now we are getting the exact pattern that we wanted. So this printf was present in this loop, so we have just shifted this printf out of the inner for loop and our program is working correctly. So this kind of logical errors you will have to find in the program, and then you will have to recompile and submit the code. Now moving to the last question of this video. So in this question you will have to correct the syntax error in the given code without modifying the logic to get the output below. So the output should be choice is 1. That means you will have to find a syntax error in this code such that the output should choice is 1. So first of all, let me open this code in a compiler. Now whenever you get a code and you will have to find a syntax error, so the best thing is to execute the program. Now if I execute this program, so as you can see, we have a syntax error on this line, which is a switch statement. Now the spelling of switch is correct, but there may be an error because of x. Now if you see, x is a float and there is a condition with switch that we cannot use a float value for a switch statement. So what we can do is we can simply change the data type of x and we can make it int. But after making it int, we'll also have to make this 1.1 to 1. Now if I again compile this code, so as you can see, there is no syntax error in this code. And now if I run this code, so you can see our output is choice is 1. So this was the syntax error in this particular code, and after changing the data type of x and initializing it with 1, the syntax error has been resolved. So after doing this, you will have to submit the code. So that's it for today, and if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe and press the bell icon so that you never miss any update. And if you want to practice more questions like this, so you can visit www.prepdrive.in. Do visit this website and stay tuned for more videos. Thanks for watching.